Why am I so nervous to make videos in this format? I've never made a video like this before, so I hope you like it. My name is Tatiana and welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about how you can get a VTube model and move it around and everything like I'm doing right now completely free. Whether it's a 2D model or a 3D model, this video will help you out. I'm going to split this up into kind of like 3 different videos. Basically this one will cover Animaze, which is how I get to, move around and things like that. There are avatars included in this, including 2D and 3D avatars, whether they're human or even animals, which is really cool. You can even import your own models in there and it has pretty accurate face tracking. So stick around. That's what this video is about. The next video will be about how to get this type of a 3D model, which is also completely free. So that video will come out a couple days after this one. And then the last video will kind of be like, it's not completely free, but it's how I make my starting and end screens for my streams so that you could also do that for your streams if you wanted with your model or something similar. And I'll kind of explain how I got my backgrounds and stuff like that in that video. So it'll be a 3-parter, but you may only need to watch 1 or 2 parts depending on what you want to do. So today we're going to cover Animaze. Also, shout out to Animaze. They followed me on Twitter. I was like, girl, what? Like, hello? But they did. I thought it was like someone trolling me. Like, what is this? But it was them, which is pretty cool. So if Anime sees this, hi, and I really like your program. I think it's pretty cool. And it helped me out a lot. Let's jump in to Animaze. The only things you're gonna need to use this program, okay, is a phone or a webcam, something that can capture your movement. If you want hand tracking, you can also use Elite Motion or other devices that can track your motion. This program does support that, which is really cool. I don't have Elite Motion yet. It's expensive. We'll see one day. Your girl's hands won't look like a penguin, bro. First thing you want to do is head over to Steam. And in Steam, you're just going to go to the search bar right up here and type in Animaze. And it'll come up. Animaze by FaceRig. It's the first result here. Go ahead and click on that. Now you're going to notice mixed reviews, and that's only because apparently this was like something you had to pay for. Now it's completely free. There is a pay system. You don't have to do it though. I think you basically just get more outfits and things, more customization for the avatars they provide in this program. Like you'll get other features like exporting videos and stuff like that. But if you're just using it for streaming, it's not that, you don't need that right now. A lot of the stuff you can do with OBS. So we're not going to focus on that. We're strictly focusing on it being free. So you'll want to go to this page and download it. As you can see, it says the software is for live stream, video chat, and recording videos in 2D with 2D and 3D avatars. They have over 50 avatars you can use. You can also use your own avatars. And this is important because this actually will be in the next video. You can use readyplayerme models, which is what this model is. It was provided by readyplayerme. Links are in the description if you want to already go and look at that stuff. But I'm just letting you know. Here, you can basically see what Animaze looks like when it opens up. Now, when it opens up for you, it's probably going to have like a different model. It just has my model because I'm currently using it. So you're actually going to see me kind of change and not look the same. But don't worry about that if you see me in the bottom corner, like looking weird. Let's just focus on the big screen. So it's tracking me, as you can see, all my facial movements. It does have this because it is actively being connected to my OBS, which I'll also show you how to do that really quick. Super easy to do. First thing you're going to do when you open this up is you actually might be prompted to make an avatar or to choose one. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So if you go up to the top corner here, you can see these are the avatars I've kind of been using. This is the one I'm using right now. These are ones I was experimenting with. This is the one I had originally picked. You can just click it. It will change. It's actively changing, which is why I'm not moving anymore. There you go. So now I'm this model. This is the one I was actually going to use before I saw readyplayerme, but I like the readyplayerme one better. And you can see her mouth actually is not tracking me because there is something that you kind of got to do, which I'll show you guys in a second. Quick audio editor's note. The reason that I'm saying that it's not tracking me correctly, I'll show you in a second, but it's basically because my tracking has been tailored to fit my 3D avatar that I use. Whereas if I was to switch to one of these ones, I would configure it differently to fit how I'm moving the best with each different avatar, because every avatar's bone structure and everything is different, and it's just basically to match yours. So that's why I keep saying that. But they have a lot of different avatars. On this avatar, this one's called what are these called? It's a specific avatar. I think it's called a persona, and this is specifically a Animaze avatar. So they have some that look like people that you can customize. You can choose, you know, skin tones, like hair colors, eyebrows, all kinds of different stuff. Noses, mouths. You can just change it all up to your heart's content. They have different hairs as well, and they're always adding to this, they said. I think they said every month they add to it. You got clothes that you can change, textures, all kinds of things like that. And you can even add in your own textures by clicking this plus sign and then picking some kind of like photo or something, and you can like change it. That's actually how she's wearing this. It was like my logo, my old logo, not my new one, my old logo, basically on a shirt. Pretty simple. So that's the persona, but there are a ton of different ones. We'll just say not to save this. It's gonna revert me back to the way it looked before we pressed anything. There are tons of avatars to pick from though. They have animals, as you can see. Hi, I'm a floating fish. Mama moo. Yeah, so they've got floating fish. You can be Simba. Ooh, ah. It's so cute when you frown. The ears move. So you could be Simba if you wanted to. Again, this is not tracking my face because I have done some adjustments in the settings to make it track your face better, which I can show you. But you know, this is basically what it's like. I think I would also have to recalibrate to pick it, but yeah, there's tons of different avatars. They also have 2D avatars, which I can show you. So that's like a 2D avatar. It's pretty good, right? Like there's lots of movement you can do and stuff like that. Really cute. And I think that's why if you press this upgrade, let me show you quick. If you wanted to pay for it, this is kind of like what it is. You get all these things. You kind of get access. If you do use one of their avatars, you'll get access to more options for clothes. And I think you even get more avatars. You get 60 frames, you know, you get a bunch of different stuff. For right now though, basic is working fine for me. But I think maybe if you had your own avatar, you might want to do that. But it's, again, totally up to you. And that was yearly. You have a monthly one as well. So if you're interested, you can do that. But again, it can be totally free. You don't have to do that. It's just an option, but we're going the free way for today. We're going the free way. That is basically how you can change your avatars, and you can customize, again, all their fur and stuff like that, all their colors. So let me show you real quick before we move on to backgrounds why it wasn't tracking my mouth as well with those other models. It was because here in settings, if you go to tracking configure or advanced tracking configuration, in here, there's all these things. Like you can change the input for the eyes. You know, you can drag these sliders, make it smoother. You know, it kind of tracks based on how you're moving. I went through and did this until I was, you know, happy with it. I still think the mouth could be better because when I close my lips, you know, she closes her lips. But when I close my teeth, there is a space. So I'm still working on figuring that out, trying to see if I can make that space a little bit closer. I don't know if it would mess up the model. So it's something I'm still playing with, but you can do it for the eyes, brows, jaws, mouth, like everything. You can do it for everything, head movement. So that's why this one is probably tracking better than those other ones were. You can do that to try and make it more realistic if you need to. And so that's what I've been doing. But just keep that in mind that those are there. And there's also a bunch of things you can do for like audio-based lip sync, which it's not great. It does work, but it's not as good as if it can see you. So I recommend having that camera for sure, or a phone. Right now I'm using my iPhone hooked up to my computer, and that's how it's tracking my face. If you do use a phone, you do have to have the Animaze app. As far as I know, you have to have the Animaze app, but it's really easy to change. All you do is go to, it should be in general, but it's in video graphics, and you actually just go right here and you can choose whatever it is you want to use, like whatever camera it is. So see, I just have my iPhone connected, but you can go and use all these different things. This is like my capture card and stuff. So if your webcam would show up there, you just click it, and then it will come up with instructions on how to connect it. It's really easy. Usually it's just pressing a button. And then you can even decide how, you know, everything renders, how everything looks, the frames, resolution, all that stuff is in there. And then make sure not only do you play with these options, but make sure you configure these options where it can track your blinking, where it can be linked to a certain place if you have like 2 monitors, the frequency if it's auto blinking, all kinds of different options that can definitely help you out to make the tracking more accurate. Again, I'm still even playing with these things, but just wanted to let you guys know that. So definitely check all of these options here out. In this spot specifically, if you have an iPhone, make sure you enable iPhone, which is right here. The iPhone camera will give you the best tracking result. It's just because of the camera that they have in that phone is like unparalleled. Anything from I think an XR up, the camera in there will be the best to use for facial tracking, so make sure that's ticked. You can also tick lip sync. I ticked a lot of them just to try and make it the best. Animaze themselves recommends that you actually keep this on because it will help it to track your like focal patterns and all that stuff on both 2D and 3D models. And I will say on 2D models, it's some of the best tracking I've ever seen. Like in the videos, I haven't really been able to test it myself yet because I don't really have a 2D model, but definitely check out these options and make sure what you want is ticked. But I know they for sure recommend you keep this one on. So that's just a quick thing I want to say before for the tracking. If you were like, oh, that didn't look that accurate, it's because I basically tailored this to match me better, and I'm still going to be working on that. So yeah, just wanted to show you guys that real quick. Then we got the background, and here is where you change background and lighting. They have to fix it. It's okay. As you can see, she actually has lighting because there's like purple lights in the background that I made. So the lighting she has on her was made, which one am I selected? I think I'm clicked on this one, which says stream. Yeah, so this is lighting I made. So in this one, basically you can change this, see? So there can be different kind of lights based on like whatever it is, you know, that your avatar has. I don't want to mess this one too much because it takes a while to fix it, but you can do all kinds of different lighting. We're not going to save that because I'm not going to change. She always slides down in the chair. It's so embarrassing. Okay, anyway, so you can click on a bunch of different backgrounds as well. So here she is. This is with one of their screens. I'm actually going to turn off the model so you can see. So this is her in one of the screens that they provide where there's, you know, it says on air. So you could use this if you want. And the lighting actually does change with these backgrounds that they provide you. There's a lot of them there that are for free. They say they'll give you more, but I think there's only like 3 more that are available aside from this, so it's not really that. I don't think you need to get it, but yeah, again, you can change the lighting. See, that's really dramatic lighting, but based on whatever your background is, you might want to change it to different lighting. You know, some looks so flat, it makes her look so flat. Some is just too much, you know, it just really depends. And you can again change these. So for example, if you do this one, which is the one I usually start with if I'm making new lighting, I'll often, you know, change it. That's too bright, you know, something like this, if there's like red lights on the side. So see, this is why I wish lighting had more sliders. They don't. Again, they're still working on this app, right? Like they're going to keep developing on it, hopefully, and continue to build it up. But for now, you know, there's only sliders for certain lights, but you can have obviously different kinds of lights. Like we got like a green light. Over here is like the top, that light that would be like above your head, you know, so whatever your background is, you can kind of tailor it to that. But there are no sliders, unfortunately, for this one. So, you know, it is what it is. Unfortunately, that's just the way that they have it for now. But there are tons of different backgrounds, from like being in a car, which is loading. There you go. And she always looks so small, my girl. She's always looking so small. So like, you know, I could be driving in a car, you know, going on an adventure, okay? Driving down, what is this, Miami? And so, you know, depending on what you want, you can do that. And you can also rename them up here, which is really cool. One thing that's cool about these backgrounds and lighting, if you click on, I have it attached to my Stream Deck and stuff, but for you, what you can do if you don't have all that crazy stuff, if you set up something like this, for example, is what I have as my gaming setup. If you have this, okay, I'm going to turn the model back on so you can see. If you have this and you go over here to quick scenes, okay, so say you like this and you save it, you go over to quick scenes, okay, I've saved a whole bunch of scenes for example, like if I'm just chatting, this is the lighting and this is what I want it to look like. Basically, this would make it look like the lighting is where I'm in my just chatting room, and it changes her pose. This pose down here changes it to when I'm playing games. This pose this mode is for when I'm like opening Pokemon cards, you know, because the lighting is different. So you can play with that as well. And then they have what the shortcut keys are. It's usually just Control 1, Control 2, Control 3 if you want to go through them. And you can save actually quite a few. You can save up to 10. I only have up to 3 for my main stream, and then my ASMR stream of an ASMR gaming channel. You can check that out if you're interested, links down below. But I have these two because the lighting in those and the backgrounds in those streams are completely different. So it's really cool. If you have a stream deck, I don't know if you do. If you're a beginner, you probably don't. But if you do have a stream deck from Elgato, you can also use a multi-action and program it. So when I click on something, as you can see now, I only pressed one button, but it basically changed the scene and changed it in the program as well. So I didn't have to worry about it. You actually saw it change there. So that's a cool thing that you might want to keep in mind. It's handy. There are props as well that you can use when you have the avatar. See, I don't have it because when you have an avatar you've imported in, you don't get costumes and all that stuff. You basically do all of your editing on your text and your textures and stuff through your computer. Basically going to want to click on that avatar. So for me, I'm being this one right now. And see, it's going to show you all of her textures, basically. So, like, see this weird face laid out? That's her face being, like, stretched out, basically. And I could put lipstick on this model. I could put more makeup. Using a program like Photoshop or a free program like GIMP, you would be able to do that as in those programs as well. I don't know if there's another one other than GIMP. Is there another? Let me know down below if you know. If there's, like, a photo editing software that's not GIMP, that's also free. Because I personally didn't like GIMP. When I tried to use it, I just have Photoshop. It's what I was used to using. But if you know of another alternative, put it down below for others. We need to share the wealth of knowledge that we have together, guys. We got to share that knowledge together so we can all be the best streamers we can be and best content creators, best VTubers we can be. So yeah, you can change even their teeth. You can change all of those things. When you have your own model, it'll be laid out like that. That's a quick rundown of kind of some things you can do. If you use their models, you can also have voices. I think there's a voice changer in here. There's like emotes you can have. The voice changer was up here. All that cool stuff if you wanted to use it that way. Really cool. So now we're going to jump into kind of how you can use Animaze with OBS really quick. I'm going to show you guys. I'll show you how you can really easily basically import your avatar into a scene. Okay, so here we are inside of OBS. It's gonna look weird for a second, but I just want to show you guys in case you're brand new to OBS. OBS won't look like this. I didn't open a new one just because my computer sometimes freezes with OBS. I don't know, OBS has been acting weird since the update, but you can download OBS. I'll leave links down below for that as well. It's a free program. When you open it up, basically, there'll just be like 2 sound bars for your audio. This will be blank, and I think there might be like one thing here, but here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you how to do it from scratch. You just gotta go click this little plus button here. You can name your scene. We're gonna name it Animaze. I think that's how I spell it. I'm literally trying to get through this as quick as possible so it's not too long of a video, and it makes sense, hopefully. So just type in whatever you want to name your scene. A scene is just basically what people are going to see, basically, you know, when you switch between them. Like you can see I have just chatting or my ending screen. That's like a scene, and then inside is the source, which is what you put in there, like a camera or something like that. So this is your scene, plus name it. Okay, you're gonna have a screen that looks like this. Now you're not going to have capture display. This is just so you guys can see like what I'm seeing right now, so that's why that's there. And I've added a mic for recording, so you also won't have that. This will basically have neither of these 2 things will be here. So yours will be blank, and all you have to do to add in a mic, for example, is press the plus button right down here. There you go. And then you would press audio input capture, press select, and then here you can name it, and then you can just choose. Here we'll just literally click it so you can see, and then you would just choose one of your audio sources. For me, I have a microphone. It's a Blue Yeti, but you could choose, even for example, I have a headset. You could even choose your headset audio, and you can use that if that's all that you have. You can use whatever you have as a microphone. So that's how you do it, and then you would press OK, and it would pop up just as you can see here where it's capturing actually my Blue Yeti on both of them. You can see the audio moving, so that's how that works. I'm going to get rid of this just because it's annoying me. I don't know. It's annoying me that there's 2, but then you would have it an audio source. The next thing you want to do is to add in, obviously, your really beautiful avatar. all you got to do is click the plus button again, but this time you're going to go to video capture device, okay? And you're going to click that, and I already obviously have it set up down here, but we'll do this brand new for the sake of teaching you all. So we'll do Animaze, if I can even spell ever, okay. Animaze and create, oh, the name is already in use, okay. We'll do Animaze camera. We'll just call it that. Okay, so here it is popped up. This is what it's literally going to look like when you open it. And yes, your avatar will not be moving. I'm going to show you why in a second, but it will not be moving. So just ignore that for a moment. Ignore the preview window. All you're going to do is go right here to device defaults. Now, I believe it says this when you go to connect it inside of Animaze. It does explain this to you, but you're going to want to go and click custom. You're going to want to make your resolution here 720. This is the option it wants you to pick. You're going to, you can say match. I think it said to go to 30 or 60 frames, whatever it is. I just say highest frames. That's just what I do, but you can use the 30 frames per second if that's what you're more comfortable with, or if you're having issues with it. I recommend using that to match the frames of the program. And then in video format, this one's really important, okay? In video format right here, click this down and click XRGB. Basically, and it says this in the Animaze app, when you have it on any, it's kind of just, it's not really showing the colors as they truly are. So it's kind of making it, as you can see, a little dull in some places. It's a little bit too overly saturated. So XRGB is more accurate. I'm going to click it a couple times so you guys can really see the difference, right? You can see like it just looks so much better using XRGB because that's a more accurate color, colors format or video format. So make sure it's on XRGB, and then you can leave these two and then just go ahead and click OK. And now we have our avatar, but she's not moving. She's not moving. Don't worry. All you got to do is go into Animaze. So I'm just going to open Animaze here. All you're going to do is click enable video camera. Okay, because that's basically what we've connected it to. But unless you press this, it will not move. So we've pressed this, the little bar pops up. And now, as you can see, we're moving. We're moving inside of OBS. So make sure you do that inside of the Animaze app. And then you will see movement start as long as your camera is connected. So make sure everything's connected and then press that and you'll be good to go. Now, what I'm going to show you is how to remove the background. Now, remember I said you have to pay or else you have this watermark, as you can see, floating around me. All you got to do, and basically they do this to try, like if you like a background inside of the Animaze app and you want to use it, this thing will keep going around if it's free. Because what you could do is make this full screen, right? And now, if you had a background, the background actually has this watermark over top of it the whole time. So what that means is if you use a background, the watermark will be there if you use the free version. But I'm going to show you how to get a background, okay, where you don't necessarily have to pay for it. Because they give you the green screen background, you can actually just chroma key it out and then use what you want. So we're going to right now on the edge, as you can see, I'm going to make this be right here. Okay, so you can see we're going to press Alt, which is next to your space bar. It has ALT on it. Press Alt, hold it down, and then click on that little red box, and you can literally just drag. It's like a quick crop. So you can just quick crop. We'll wait till the watermark gets there. Quick crop so you can't see the watermark. There you go. And you can do the same thing on the other side so that you can't see it. So we can do that. And then all you got to do is just chroma key out the green screen, right? Because if you want to have your own custom background that you've made yourself, maybe you've taken a picture, you've drawn a picture, you have something you want to be the background behind your avatar, or if, for example, when you're playing games, if you want it to be transparent behind you, which I use sometimes on the stream, then this is what you're going to do. So let's go back down into our OBS. So I'm going to put this like as if it's in the OBS you're seeing, even though this whole thing is. So here we go. Put that there. Now you're going to go back to your things here, and you're going to go ahead and go to Animaze camera, whatever you named it. You're going to where your avatar is, which is this layer, and we're going to right click, and we're going to click filters. Okay. And here in the filters, you're going to go under Effect, Filters, press plus, and you're going to go to Chroma Key, and you're going to click it. You can name it if you want, but Chroma Key is usually fine unless you have multiple for some reason. You really don't need to change the name. Just press OK, and it does it for you. It basically did it for you. This is automatically set to remove anything green, and it's basically removed it. There might be a little bit, like you can see on my shoulder, so you can just go to similarity and play with that, like how, oh, I didn't even drag it, how much of it, see, you can try and like have it take away. So it tries to take anything away that's similar to that color. As you can see though, if we go too hard, it starts to get rid of some of the face, so you can play with it. Also smoothness can help out, right? I think this is good enough for what we're doing right here, so I think we're good. And it's basically cut out, actually wait, maybe it's a little too high. We'll leave it there. We've cut out pretty much all of the background, right? And as you can see, that watermark is still there, but we've cropped it out so you can't even see it anymore. And now all you do is press close. You're literally done. And as you can see, we now have our avatar and it has no background, which is what we wanted. So now you might be like, okay, that's cool, but how do I get a background? Well, I tell you how I got my backgrounds in the third video in this series. The next one's going to be about how to get this model. The third one's going to be about how I made that. And I did that using The Sims with my sister. So that's how we did it. So if you don't have that, I mean, you can put anything back there. Any type of picture will work. In this example, when I show you how to do this, I'm just going to use that background because that's just the picture I have. But you can use any image and put it in the back. And you can even do your gameplay capture can go behind it. The way you can add an image is just pressing plus, again down here in your sources, plus, and then you're going to go ahead and go to it can be a video too, which is cool. Like if you have a GIF or a GIF, however, I don't know how it said, whichever way it said, you can have that running in the back if you wanted, but it does take up space in your like your GPU and CPU of your computer. So just keep that in mind because it could cause lagging and stuff like that. So it's up to you if you want to use that, but you could have the background be moving if you wanted, animated. So we're going to click image though, and we are going to, you can name it anything. As you can see, I have like way too many images for my stream here, like literally too many. So we're just going to go ahead, create a new image, and we're just going to call this Animaze tester image or something, and then press OK. And then you're going to click browse and then look in your computer for where it is in your computer. So you can't see me now, but I have picked a random photo that I had, one of the pictures we took for the little apartment my sister made me. So all you want to do is just make it smaller by just dragging it, as you can see here. I'm just going to make mine smaller so that you can see me and you can kind of see what I'm doing here. Just down below. So I'm going to make this look like it's literally in the OBS you're seeing. So it's going to be like this right here. And all we're going to do is down here, these are layers basically. So if you've used Photoshop or any program like that, then you literally already know what layers are. You're going to be like, this is boring. But for those of you who don't know, this works in a layer system. So, you know, you can see our images here, which is our background. If you press the little eye, it disappears. You can make it come back. But as you can see, it's on top of the Animaze camera. So if we actually just grab the background and we do this, it's in front and you can't see, right? If you're like, oh, I'm just going to go ahead and put it, you're not going to be able to see. So a way to fix this is just bring your background image that's supposed to be at the back down. Now, again, remember this display thing wouldn't be here. This is just so I can record. So this would be the only thing at the bottom. It should be your image for your background. And you can actually do something really cool, which is locking it. So press the little lock and it means I can't pick it up anymore. So now I can move my avatar, but I can't move the background by accident, because sometimes I still do this. I accidentally grab it and drag the background and I'm not even trying to grab the background. It's a whole thing. So just lock this if you're trying to move things over top. As you can see, I just moved display capture by accident, so that should be locked. See, I did it again, didn't lock it. And it's just that's a really good thing just to remember for when you're trying to add things on top, like overlays, or you're trying to put, I don't know, goals or whatever, your camera, just so you don't accidentally grab it. And then let's say you want to put your avatar on top, you can just grab them, or you can click the links individually. It's totally up to you. Go ahead and you can size it down, you know, however you want. And then you can kind of just go ahead, put it like where you need to, and there you go. There is your avatar, and there's your scene. And we're kind of like in this scene here. You can put yourself in the middle. Hi, we look like we're in the middle. And that's it. That's it. If you want to add a blur to the background, we're going to add a filter. You just left click or right click filters on your image. You can press plus and press blur here. Okay, and it literally like blurs it out pretty well just by itself. You could literally do this, press close, and then there you go. It looks blurred and it looks really cool. And that's basically how I make my streams. Also, I always recommend to put your audio one at the top and just lock it. Just like that layer just has to be there. You can just leave it. It's not that important to have like in a specific area. Just leave it there and then make sure all your other stuff is down here. So right now, what your thing should look like is have your audio source, have your 3D avatar, which would be this one, and then have your background, which is an image of some sort or a video if you wish, something like that. And that's about it. That is how I put my stream together, how I put the 3D avatar in there. That's what Animaze does. It's really, really, really cool that we can do this for free. Again, if you though really wanted to use their backgrounds, you would probably have to pay for it, unless you don't mind it being cropped. Like if I were to pick a background that's one of their backgrounds right now. So see, if you were to use the background they have, because we've done the crop, you know, see now that thing. So if you don't mind that being there, right? See, this is why you lock it. If you don't mind that being there, the background, then, you know, you can have the free Animaze thing there. You know, people will know you used Animaze to make it, which is, you know, not a bad thing. It's totally up to you. But if you don't like it there, and you want to use the backgrounds they keep, then you're going to probably have to pay for it, which, you know, it is what it is. I feel like it's fine just because you can get around it, make your own background. But if you don't have the know-how and you're like, oh, I'd rather just pay $19 for that, then go ahead and do that. It's totally up to you, but that's pretty much how your whole thing should look. You can basically just start streaming, start going for it. Just go for it. So yeah, that's it. That's how you use Animaze to move a 3D model, or even to give you a 3D model, because you might be using Animaze's model for free. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. There's a bit of a learning curve with the motion tracking, but I know you guys can do it. I know you can, because if I did it, y'all can do this. Like, y'all can do this. If you use this, okay, if you use this and this is what you're using to, you know, mocap, or I don't know what it's called, but to make your avatar move, or even if you used it to get an avatar and start like making content, share it down below. Let's see what you did, because I think it would be pretty cool. And yeah, like the video if it helped you out. Subscribe if you want to see the next video on how to make a ReadyPlayerMe 3D model just like me. That's what I'm using with Animaze, and I think it's a great mix, especially if you want something that looks a little less cartoony than the personas that Animaze has, a little more realistic, but still obviously cartoony, or even to look like you. I'm gonna show you how to make that in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this made sense. Like, if it didn't, that's embarrassing, but I hope it made sense. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Remember to stay safe, hug your loved ones, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.